My name is Jo Reingold, and I'm interviewing Estelle Magid today. Today is July 18th, 2017. Hello, Estelle. How are you?
Fine.
Good. So, Estelle, tell us a little bit about your background, your grandparents, your parents, where they were from, and where they lived.
Well, my grandparents emigrated to the United States I'm not sure of the date. It was the late 1800s probably. And they were from Russia. I'm sure they came here because of the pogroms. And I remember my grandparents. They came to Sioux City, Iowa, which is where my family is from. And for some reason, the whole family must have been in the cattle business at one time in Russia, because that was the livestock country in Iowa. And we would go visit them on Sundays, and they had a huge family. They had 11 or 12 children from 2 wives, I remember. And my father, of course, was one of them. I think he was from the first wife, who must have passed away in Russia, and this was the second wife that came with all these children. And I remember them well, my aunts and uncles. And they came to Iowa, and a lot of them went into the small towns and opened grocery stores. And what can I tell you about these grandparents?
Did they know that it was probably a small Jewish community when they got there?
Well, actually, we were surprised at one time. Our little Sioux City, Iowa, was like 100,000 people. There were 3 synagogues there. We had quite a big Jewish population.
Wow.
And I suppose that was where a lot of them came. And another family came that were cousins. So we were all just one big happy family there. And I can remember growing up there and going to school there and walking to school in the cold winter days. And what else can I tell you?
How big was your immediate family?
Well, my immediate family, there were 4 of us. There were 2 brothers and another sister. I was the youngest. And let's see, what else can I tell you? I was the youngest, and I can remember the grocery store we had in a little tiny town called Washita, Iowa. And I started my kindergarten there. And then we moved into the big city, Sioux City, and I finished my public school education there in Sioux City. And
Did your parents stay there?
yes, my parents stayed in Sioux City. And let's see, what else? My father fed cattle and sold them in the stockyards. And I had an uncle who had a meat packing plant.
That was convenient.
And anyway, I did my many years of school there. And then when I graduated, I went to California without going to college. At that point, it was the World War II, and we didn't have the means to send me. And I went to California and worked for a short time, and then came back to Sioux City and went to work there for a couple of years. And I met my husband, who was in the service in Sioux City at the Jewish Community Center. And he was stationed in a town which was 100 miles away, called Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And he would come into the Jewish Community Center, and that's where we met, and many of my girlfriends met their husbands there. And we dated, and then he was sent off to Canada, where he had a job in the PX during that World War. And then when he came back in 1945, we got married in 1945. Now, do you want me to continue?
Sure. Did you make a decision to stay there, or at some point
No.
were you ready to leave?
No, we were ready to go. We got married in his hometown of Youngstown, Ohio. And we stayed there for a couple of years until I decided I was not too happy there and told my father, who found a business for us in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And so we drove. We were newly married, maybe 2 years at that point. We drove to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where my father had purchased a liquor store, and my husband became partners with him there. And we stayed in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where my first son was born in 1948. And we were there until after his birth, and then we sold that store and bought another one in a suburb of Sioux City, which was called North Sioux City, South Dakota. And we had another liquor store there. And we did our business there for a couple of years. And then there was an opportunity to buy my uncle's meatpacking house with my brother, who was the older one, the oldest brother of mine. So my husband and he purchased my uncle's meatpacking house, and that was the business that we were in for the next 30 years, I would say, until we sold it, or the meatpacking business changed completely. In the meantime, we were there in Sioux City, and we had 2 sons and 2 daughters. And we established a nice life there. And we had a lot of friends. We built a home. And that was where our children went to school. And when they graduated, they were off to college. And then,
Did you have any opportunity to be part of the Jewish community while your family was growing?
yes, we were members of Shir Zion Synagogue. All our children were bar and bat mitzvah there. And we were parts, did our share in the community. I was very active in Hadassah, and I was a life member and still am. And other than that, we stayed there until 1980, when the meatpacking company was closed because of the change in the way meat was processed. And we moved to Dallas because our 2 sons, my one son had married a girl from Dallas and was here, and the other son came to go into business with him. So that was our choice to move. We knew that there was no reason to stay in Sioux City.
What business were they in?
My sons were brokering meat here in Dallas, and meat brokerage. And my husband came and joined them at that point after we had been in Florida for a short time, and my husband was doing commodities, and it became difficult for him. He got high blood pressure, so we all felt it was better to make this move to Dallas. And that we did in 1980, and we have been here since, and it's
Not
been-
quite as cold here
No, it's been,
as what you're used
it's
to.
been wonderful here. We've
Now, you
enjoyed
said your
it.
son married a local native Dallasite?
Yes.
Who was that?
We married a girl by the name of Cheryl Leeds, the Leeds family.
Okay.
Now they're gone also. She still lives here. They have since divorced, and he is remarried. And my other son married a Dallasite, Lynn Horowitz.
I thought it was her. She was a
Uh-huh.
friend of mine from a long time ago.
And then I have a daughter who met her husband here at the Jewish Community Center. She's been married 32 years.
Huh.
Another daughter was married in Sioux City in 1975. She married a boy from Phoenix, Arizona. So that's where her home is.
Okay.
And I came here and I did not do anything for some time, and then I became a realtor, as most people do. And I kept myself occupied selling real estate for a few years, and I enjoyed it. And I really have not gotten terribly involved with the Jewish organizations, except for the Hadassah. Other than that, I really am not a member. I was a member of Sheriff Israel for some time, and then we became members of Temple Shalom for a short period. But after my husband got ill, there was really, I did not keep my memberships going, although we bought Temple Shalom burial plots, and that's where he's buried today. And what else can I tell you?
Do you have any grandchildren?
Oh, I have 12 grandchildren.
Oh, Kanahara.
14, soon to be another one, great-grandchildren.
Oh my gosh.
So I have a tremendous, wonderful family with 4 children. They've all married within our faith, thank God. And
Do most of them still live in this area?
yes, I have a great many that still live here. I have one granddaughter with 5 grandchildren, and they are leaving within the next few days. They're going to make Aliyah to Israel.
Wow. Yeah.
So this is a sad thing for me because I hate to see them go. But they're all very close by, and I enjoyed. Last Sunday we had a great-grandchild's 2nd birthday. That's where I fell.
Uh-oh. Oh, I'm sorry.
And we've enjoyed all these simchas, and we have enjoyed our time here in Texas. I don't know what else can I tell you?
Well, let me ask you this. There's some general questions. One of them that I like to hear is, what are you the most proud of?
What can I tell you? The fact that we had, how many years did we, let's see, we had about 57 years. He died in 2013, and we were married 1945. What was that? That's about
63 years.
63
Yeah,
years
yeah.
of marriage.
Mm-hmm.
I have a wonderful husband. I have a beautiful family. And naturally, I'm a proud great-grandmother.
Of course.
And I mean, I'm proud that I'm still walking around at age 91. And if I hadn't fallen, I'd be in better shape. But I'm going to be just fine.
Good.
And
Do you have any particular role models that you can think of through the years?
not really. I mean, I really can't tell you of any that I can think of. No,
You were a self-made woman, so.
I'm self-made, and, you do whatever you have to do.
Right, right.
I tried to maintain a Jewish home. My grandson happens to be, I have a couple grandchildren who become very Orthodox, which is great, and I probably would have been more so had we not lived in the smaller areas in Iowa. But, of course, there were opportunities. My husband used to sell kosher meat and send it to the East Coast.
Oh.
So I could have become a little more observant, but I didn't. And that's the way life is. You do whatever you have to do.
Well, it sure sounds like you have a wonderful family and strong connections and, a good inner circle, which is so important.
It is, and I'm here at the Bonaventure, and there's many of us that are the same,
Mm-hmm.
all, widows and so on, and I hope to be able to stay here. for
You've been
many
in
years.
Dallas now almost 40 years, right?
Yeah,
37
since
years.
1980.
So tell me this as just a curiosity. How have you, in your own words, seen the city develop and grow and change while you've been here?
Oh, it's much larger, much more traffic, and it's kept up with all the times, and we're seeing so much growth that it's becoming a little difficult. But I'm still driving, and I hope to drive until I have to. Although I can't drive now until I get my cast off here, but I'll be fine. I'll drive more, and we've enjoyed our years. The weather's much better here. It's very good here, and I'm very pleased to be here.
Very good.
Uh-huh.
Is there anything at all, Estelle, that you'd like to add?
Not really. I'm sure AJ will enjoy
Yeah.
hearing all this. Maybe, I don't know what he expected me to say. He's a
okay.
genealogy lover. He
Oh.
loves to hear about the family.
Mm-hmm.
And all I can remember is what I remember, and I tell him, but there's some things that we
Well,
just don't.
I just remember you said that you did know and you were close with a number of aunts and uncles that lived near you
Yeah.
growing up.
Yes.
Did most of them stay in that area, or did any also leave?
They all left.
They did?
I think most of them left. I have one uncle who went out to Arizona, and a couple of them went out there, and Kansas City. I mean, they all just left Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
And there were just my father stayed there, and a few others, and the cousins. So now that town, Sioux City, has dwindled. There maybe is 100 Jewish people left. It's very sad when you see a town that it had 3 synagogues and a Jewish community center. Now it has, everything's combined into one building there. And
What about Sioux Falls? Has it
the
also?
Sioux Falls has grown. That little town where when we went there and my son was born, there was a handful of Jewish people. I don't think, well, they did have a little synagogue, but the day that he was born he was born in 1948 in a Catholic hospital. And when it came time for the bris, we had to bring in mohels from Sioux City, and the Catholic nuns had never seen anything quite like it. But now Sioux Falls has usurped Sioux City, and they have Citibank there, and we're amazed at the growth at that town. So it's
Right.
just one of those things, although I don't think they have any sales tax, or they don't have any state tax or something. That's why their growth is so big there.
Well, it's a pleasure interviewing you, and I'm happy that your family is really all doing well.
Thank you.
And they like it here.
I
That's
don't
good to
feel
know.
I could give you whatever I
No,
should
it's
here,
wonderful. It's
whatever.
wonderful. Thank you very much. It's all, AJ's going to love it.
AJ will love it. He's been bothering me.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
That's her grandson, by the way.
Oh, he's wonderful. He is. He's got 2 beautiful little kids, and he had a beautiful kosher wedding in New York.